solicitation of these telephone records, which I think emphasizes the political weaponization that was behind all this effort. And we're still getting more information, but we've released some records today, and I'll let Senator Johnson take over from here, and then each one of you colleagues can join in when you want to, whatever you want to say.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Senator Grassley. It is because of his relentless advocacy for whistleblowers that a lot of this information is surfacing right now. We wouldn't know about the list of 100 Republican entities that were targeted by Jack Smith's Arctic Frost investigation. I don't think we know about this as well. So we need whistleblowers. I think Dan Bongino and other folks in the FBI, they don't know where all the records are hidden. They still don't. They're not necessarily getting 100% cooperation. But this is outrageous.
That's interesting. I seem to remember somebody, when everybody was hating on Dan and Cash, I seem to remember, I can't remember what show it was or what program it was, but I seem to remember someone saying that I trust Dan Bongino. I don't trust the people that are trying to give him the information that he is requesting. I can't remember who that was. Maybe you guys in the chat can, remind me there, but I feel like somebody said through firsthand accounts of seeing it at the now DOW that just because the people in charge are asking for something does not mean that they're actually getting the full story. But what do I know? All right, Todd, let's move on to the next document. Essentially, what they have found out is, you read it. I can't read that from here.
All right, so here we go from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, from the Washington Field Office. Arctic Frost, election law matter, sensitive investigative matter, document cast assistant. FBI Special Agent blank conducted preliminary toll analysis on limited tolls records associated with the following U.S. Senators: Mike Kelly, Lindsey Graham, Bill Hagerty, Josh Hawley, Dan Sullivan, Tubbs, Ron Johnson, Cynthia Loomis, and Marsha Blackburn.
Yeah, so essentially they now have found evidence that the FBI was actively spying on personal devices, only Republican members of the Senate, the House. It just goes along with the fact. I mean, are we really shocked?
Nope.
Again, we know that I was on the list of their little MAGA unit they had. All this stuff lately. These are the same people that were targeting everyday Americans simply for supporting Donald Trump.
Well, you remember when they
Biden
went out,
FBI, not new FBI.
Yeah, when the FBI literally reached out to all credit card companies and like, hey, we need you to start paying attention to gun purchases, from MAGA Republicans. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like,
all right, well, let's go to the FBI director himself. Kash Patel had this statement to make, and then, of course, we got Dan the GOAT had something to say. If you support Dan and Cash, let's get Dan Cash blowing up in the chat right now. FBI Director Kash Patel put out, we recently uncovered proof that the phone records of U.S. lawmakers were seized by political or for political purposes. That abuse of power ends now. Under my leadership, the FBI will deliver truth and accountability and never again be weaponized against the American people. Jack Smith tracked private communications calls of nearly a dozen GOP senators during the January 6th probe, the FBI says. Let's see what Dan Bongino has to say. What, Todd? Go.
All right, finish Dan, and then I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
And never mind. Go ahead.
All right. Well, first, let's click on that one. That's a different tweet by Kash Patel right there. Go on that one. Okay. Transparency is important and accountability is critical. We promised both, and this is what promises kept looks like. The FBI is delivering. As a result of our latest disclosures about the baseless monitoring of members of Congress by the prior leadership team of the FBI, we have already taken the following actions. We terminated employees, we abolished the weaponized CR-15 squad, and we initiated an ongoing investigation with more accountability measures ahead. And then the GOAT, Dan Bongino, says, we promised you transparency and accountability. We will continue to deliver on those promises. You deserve better. Can we get some Dan blowing up in the chat?
Baby.
Okay. This is what promises made, promises kept looks like. And I know that people get upset because the wheels of justice don't move exactly at the speed that they want. To be honest with you, they don't move at the speed that I want them to move either. But you got to let the people that we trusted go in there and do their jobs. You just have to. You have to let these people do their jobs. And I do. Like I've told you time and time again, I trust Dan Bongino. I don't know Cash like I know Dan. I know Cash. I don't know him like I know Dan. I trust Dan Bongino. 100%. It would be, again, just like if Todd was in the FBI. Again, to be clear, we would be in a really bad spot if Todd was the director or the deputy director of the FBI for that to have happened. But it's the same thing. I trust Dan Bongino because I know Dan Bongino. He's a patriot. He gave up a life of he was the number one of all of us.
Yeah.
He gave it all up for you to be able to talk crap about him and say that he's not doing the job how you would do it. So again, I think that this is a great further step. They're continuing to get to the bottom of these things, and I'm looking forward to the perp walks. Comey supposed to turn himself in Thursday. That'll be interesting to see. That'll be interesting to watch. All right, we got 5 minutes left. Let's address. Yeah.
Question, and this is outside the box here, but do you think that, and I've been thinking about this all morning and last night after this came out. All right, so you got the Russia hoax where they were spying on Trump. Obama was spying on Trump. You got the Comey stuff that came out. Now you've got this. Do you think we did this to ourselves with the Patriot Act?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, do you think I mean, it sucks, but don't you think like there's a possibility ultimately Bush and us, we are responsible for this?
Yeah,
I'm just
absolutely. Like again, you can't say that we're in the situations we are now without holding accountability to the people that were around.
Yeah,
to get those things in place. Yeah. Now, things that Bush did, I was still in high school when Bush was elected the first time. And, I was in the Army doing the Iraq stuff during his second term, first and second term. So am I truly responsible for that part? No. But the Obama stuff and everything like that, yes, absolutely I was. Yeah. So yes, you can't hold what's going on right now without taking accountability for what has been in the past